Okay, good morning, everybody. I'm so glad that you come to join us. I'm Veronica with Utah Women's Retreats, and I am so excited that we have several speakers on this morning to help us in this surviving and thriving in Corona time, right? I honestly can't believe it's been 3 weeks. My kids have been home going on 3 weeks, so have yours and everybody else. And I hope that this time isn't one totally of stress and overwhelm, but I really hope it's a time that we can take some things that we're learning from and move forward into the new normal. Because unfortunately, I think we hear a lot of, oh, I just wish it would get back to normal. And I think it's not going to be like that. It's going to be different, and that's okay. So we wanted to get this series kind of kicked off. We're going to be doing a video once a week and invite different speakers on to cover a different topic. But really, we want to bring you together as a community, as women especially, and men can hop on too. Okay, this is open to anybody, right? But we want to bring our community together because I think we miss each other, right? I'm going to give a huge hands up that I miss you guys and I miss being able to see people. So let's just try to do what we can do and get together. So without further ado, our first speaker is going to be Julene. She's going to be sharing kind of some tips for us. Yay! She said, what is something specific? And I said, I would love to see some kind of summer, maybe summer feel, right? Because we all wish that we're getting into summer, and I don't want to see any more snow. So Julene, why don't you unmute yourself? And she's gonna talk, and then if you guys have any questions for her, you can. Let's see.
I did it.
Okay, Julene, go ahead and introduce yourself and kind of tell what you're gonna be doing. I'm gonna mute so we can hear.
Okay. So I am Julene King, and my handle is Julene's Joy, but I am all things beauty and skincare, and well, not a whole lot skincare, but I will talk about it here and there. And I am, well, school is paused right now at the moment, but I am becoming a master esthetician, so I will be able to do more skin soon. But what I was going to talk about today, and what I wanted to start with was just talking about first of all, like, what I like to do with makeup is mostly natural anyways, because I feel like being able to look like yourself still when you wear makeup, but just like your best self is like the best, is what I feel should be what makeup is about. And so today I wanted to talk about, yes, we don't have anywhere to go, but I personally feel like when I do just a little bit for myself in the morning, I feel a whole lot better. I last week was just barely doing, like, not like brushing my teeth and washing my face, and wasn't doing anything, and I started to feel like a garbage person. And so, every couple of days you just feel like you got to do something a little bit more. So I've noticed through this whole situation that, like, just doing a little bit for yourself makes a really big deal. And so everybody, I think, there are certain things on the face that makes people feel confident, and some people might be the brows, some people might be the lashes, some people might be lips, like, it might be skin. I think that it's just finding that thing that is the most important to you and focusing on that on the days where you're not really needing to get all glammed to sit on your couch and watch Netflix. So first thing I think that is important that I wanted to talk about is, if you are doing anything on your skin, make sure you're still doing your skincare, because it's a really good time to, like, do the extra things. Make sure you're, like, if you have a mask laying around or you have all kinds of, like, do them. Why not? Like, right now is the best time to, like, take care of our skin and treat it and just pamper it. So I think that that's important. If you don't have any good ones around the house, me and another friend of mine, Amanda on the Go Goodness, can let you know what you need to get. So and then also, when it comes to foundation, I like CC creams, BB creams, and of course I'm going to mention Mascara Beauty makeup, because I feel like it allows your skin to breathe. You don't have to use a whole lot, and it allows your skin to look the same. So there are a couple of things that I like to use. I will actually put, like, so this is It Cosmetics CC cream. There's also Rodan and Field's Radiant Defense. Those all have good things in them that will, like, help your skin while giving you some coverage. It's important to, like, while we're not going anywhere crazy, don't feel like you need to really go full glam, because that's when you're putting a lot of stuff on your face, and that's not really doing anything good for your skin. So if you can, even on when we're not in this situation, and you can just use stuff that's gonna like feed your skin at the same time, the better off you're gonna be. Okay, so I kind of wanted to just talk about that. And also, super important before you do your makeup to wash your hands. Make sure you're washing your hands even when we're not in what we're doing right now with the quarantine stuff. You always want to, when you're touching your face and doing that stuff, it's so important to have clean hands. And then let's see, also, if you're not doing makeup, or even if you're just doing a little bit, we're still working out at home. So we want to make sure that even if you're not putting anything on throughout the day, that your body and your face still takes on like dirt and grease and stuff through the day. So even if you're not putting anything on your face, make sure you're washing your face at night, whether you have anything on or not, because there's getting gunk on there. And just give it a fresh start morning and night. You always, no matter if you're wearing makeup or not, make sure you're cleaning morning and night. Okay, now we'll jump into it. What I have on my face and what I've done already is I did fill in my brows. That is something that is important to me. Here a little, I do brows. I'm a microblading artist and a brow artist, and so brows kind of are a big deal to me. There are a lot of different things you can do to fill in your brows. There's pencils, there's stamps, you can just use powder, you can use whatever your contour is, because usually that's the same kind of color that you're going to want to be filling in your brows. You can use those. I also put on a little bit of mascara because I didn't want to sit here and have you guys watch me put on mascara. On my face, I have a little bit of, you guys can see, I've primed a little bit, so my face is really kind of glowy. But I'm going to go in with mascara. This is normally what I would do on a normal day. My skin is kind of balanced out. It looks healthy. I've got my brows on, a little bit of lashes, and I just put on lip gloss. And this is good for me, like right now. But if I wanted a little bit more, I'm going to show you that. I'm going to show you how we can bring in a little bit of the warmth and pretend that it's summer and maybe feel like we're going on vacation a little bit. So, I don't know who has contoured before. I am going to just like contour really quickly. And when I don't want to contour a ton, I only focus on 2 spots. So when I contour, I like to contour right on my cheeks, where you normally contour right here, and on my forehead, especially when my hair is up. I feel like I want to bring the focus to my eyes and the center of the face, and that's what contour will do. So I'm going to use my Mascara Beauty brush, and I'm going to go into my contour. The other place that you can contour if you're wanting a little bit more dimension is under the jawline, but I really don't do that very often. But what you really want to do is just go up here. It's like almost like an invisible line that goes pretty much from the top of your ear down to the side of your mouth. You want to not have your contour go any further than almost like the corner of your iris. If you pull it down, like where your color starts, if you bring that down, it should not go any further. If we get any shadow in here around the mouth, we start looking like dudes and looking like we have facial hair, which is not what we're going for. So I'm just going to put a little bit in here, and it depends on what brush you're using. We'll add more or less. But I am just going to slap it on here. And it's like right where you can see better on this side, you guys. Boom. But I'm just going to put that like almost right where my cheekbone starts to turn down. And then whatever's left on my brush, I'm just going to brush up into the hairline and on my forehead. Make sure you brush into your hairline, because you don't want to be able to see like in the scalp and be like, oh, that's 2 different colors. So it's really good to make sure you blend it in and blend up. Okay, we'll say just for what's on the brush, let's be nice and we'll give some love to the jawline. I mean, if you want to be nuts, you can there's nothing left on my brush, but you can rub it down the sides of your nose. That'll give you some dimension too. To bronze ourselves and bring a little bit of warmth, there's a bunch of different bronzers that I love. And depending on the day, I will reach for like a bunch of different ones. One of my favorite one is Hoola Bronzer's bronzer. This is like a 3-set that you can get on Ulta, but that's a really good powder bronzer. But my favorite bronzer that I think looks the most natural is by Mascara Beauty, of course. And it's actually a cream, and so I like to use a big brush, and I really get it on there. So this is my palette, and I've got two right next to each other, and I just really get my brush in there and kind of push it around, swirl it around, and get a ton on there. And this is gonna make it look like we have a nice suntan. So I'll start on this side because I feel like I'm getting a little bit of a shadow on this side so you guys can see a little bit. But I like to start and just tap it in where the sun hits me. Can you guys see how warm that's already getting? And just like push it into my skin. And because it's like a really soft cream, it just goes on and blends in really, really well. And automatically, like if you just hit wherever the sun would hit you, like that automatically brings like a nice little warmth to your face. And it looks like you have gone on a nice vacation, which we all know we haven't. But so I'm just gonna tap it in with my brush and then swirl. I'm like not touching my skin super hard. I'm just very lightly. And again, push into the hairline, because if you don't, there can be a disconnect there and then people can tell that you're faking your tan. I like to go down my nose as well, because then again, it makes it look like you've been in the sun. I like to go on my chin a little bit. I just like consistency. So, and my neck is as white as I'll get out because it never sees the sun. So this is really nice to just go down the neck as well. That's what I like to do to bring the sun in. Now I'm going to show you guys, if you want a little bit more, like if you're looking awake, if anybody out there is having a little bit of a hard time sleeping, I am. My brain is a little bit, I seem to like think about a lot of stuff as I go to sleep. And right now my brain is on overload and I'm trying to just like find my way around and find my new normal. So we all maybe have a little bit of extra evidence of that under our eyes. And so there are a couple things that I like to reach for. There are two different things I like to brighten under my eyes. One is by Glossier. This is their stretch concealer. This is like one of the things I've noticed I've reached for the most. It is really, really nice and forgiving. It covers, but is really, really skin-like. It makes, and it's hydrating at the same time. Love this stuff. So I can take this with like a little tiny brush and go underneath my eyes. And then of course there's always Mascara Beauty. I will reach for, on the days that I'm looking a little bit more haggard and a little more tired, I will go a little bit lighter. And so I will show you guys what that looks like. So I'm gonna go under my eye and just kind of blend this up into my eye on the outer edge, because that just brings a brightness around there. And then I'm just going to, and the brush I'm using is pretty small, but it's also loosely packed, so it allows for it to be blended in really well, but for a lighter application, because we're not wanting to look cake face, but we're wanting to just brighten and make us look like alive and awake. So same thing on this side. So you'll just like, I just like to reach for, on the days where I'm feeling like I want to look a little bit more awake, that I reach for colors that have a little bit more of a golden yellow tone, because and it differs a little bit for everybody's skin tone, but usually that will help make you look a little bit more awake and alive. And just
I love
like
that brush, Julene. That is really pretty.
Yeah,
And just
thank
looks
you.
soft.
It is the now I'm totally, oh, it's the BBF, that's what it's called. And it's got this smaller side, which I love for like when you're wanting to just wash the lid and do just a little bit. It's like perfect. I love it for just when, on the days where I don't do a whole lot, I just use this brush and just do what you're seeing right now, just like brighten the center of the face, and then I feel like I'm good. I'll take the same color like around the edges of my nose, because I get a little bit red around there. And
Well,
then
and if you
around,
guys want to see more looks from Julene, jump on Instagram. She's at Julene's Joy, which I think I put in the comments. But she has a lot of different looks. So this is just, you know, something you could do, you know, light look, but also summery. So yeah, thanks
yeah.
for sharing that. Do you have any last words, Julene, about makeup or just about skin?
No, the last thing I was just, well, yeah, the last thing I was gonna say is for like eye looks and lips and stuff. I was just gonna, don't be like I've always talked about multidimensional and being able to take something and use it in a bunch of different areas. And so, you can take like real quick. I'll show you guys this. Like you could take like your go-to lipstick and go ahead and put it on your lips. And then you can take any brush, like say this is the same brush I was just using, and add it on your cheeks. And then same thing, you can take it up and use it in your eyelids, and you just have like a monochromatic look. So just while you're home, play around, do things. No one's gonna see it and it wipes right off. But if anybody has any questions or anything like that, I was hoping to get through more, but I get so deep into makeup and then I ramble and talk and go, and then I'm like, I should have set a timer on my watch because
No, I love that look, and honestly, I just the bronzer does a lot. I always seem to like overdo it, and then I look like that orange head or something. So you just did it great.
yeah, the bronzer is life changing. I feel like this cream bronzer, I had one before by Chanel, and it's like so expensive, but I feel like I like this one even better because it's just it looks the most like skin. Like if you could, I mean, you can still see my pores and everything, but like when you've got it on, it adds color without adding texture, if that makes sense, but like looks like skin still.
Yeah.
So
Well, guys, go check it out. And if you have any questions, ask Julene. She's awesome. So thank you so much. She always has good stuff, you guys. Okay, so our next speaker up is actually my husband, Aaron. His background is in social work, and he's going to be covering emotional health and wellness right now. When I did our poll on seeing what topics you guys wanted to talk about, emotional health was at the top, honestly, like overwhelming, because we're all dealing with something right now. And so I'm going to let him jump on and share some stuff. And if you have questions, put them in the comments, and we can get to them later. And if emotional health is something we want to do even more, we can schedule a call to just talk about that. So anyway, Aaron, let me unmute you, and then I'll pop off. Okay.
Okay. Well, first, I want to thank Julene for that awesome demonstration. I have 3 daughters, so we have 3 daughters. So very helpful information for me just to spark up a conversation and get some info about how my daughters are feeling stressed or anxious. The way they look has a big impact on how they manage stress and how they manage anxiety. So, but yeah, my name's Aaron, and a counselor with over 10 years of experience. And me and Veronica have no problems because I'm a counselor. We don't fight. No, you guys know that I'm joking on that. We're like anybody else. We got to work through stuff. We got to work together. And my objective for this experience with you all was 2 things. One was to assure you, and the other objective was to show you how to heal. Because, and I'm going to ask, I want this to be interactive. So what I'm going to ask you guys to be thinking about while I just do a quick share is I want you to think about what you're feeling about what's happening right now. Like, what do you feel on the inside? So maybe just a couple of you could comment on that and kind of be the voice for our group, our team. That would be awesome. But while you're thinking of that, I'm just going to say that, a message that really came through to me this morning as I was preparing for this moment is we've kind of been given this assignment that we really don't want, right? Like we know in school, when you get this assignment, you're like, the teacher's like, yeah, I want you guys to do this. And you're like, I don't want to do this. Right now, our assignments are like homeschooling for some of us who've never homeschooled before. That's me. lots of changes, with my community kind of focus that I give. Just a lot of assignments that I didn't want, right? But I have to adjust to it. But the thing that's happening is that there's nobody validating, there's nobody praising, and there's nobody recognizing what we're doing. And I'm not saying that that's something we need, but when it comes to having direction, it really helps to have somebody say, hey, you're doing an amazing job. See, I know each one of you are women that have impact, or your moms, huge impact. Business owners, huge. Makeup, huge. You're talking about beauty and purpose. And so I know each one of you, you're doing all this work and this adapting. Where's the recognition? Just so that I know I'm heading in the right direction. See, that's why it's great to have a teacher in the classroom, because the teacher says, you're doing a great job. Keep it up. Keep going. Don't give up. We turn in rough drafts, right? We turn in rough drafts and the teacher goes, okay, you're not quite there, but keep working at it. You're heading in the right direction. Nobody has a clean way of responding to this pandemic and the earthquakes that have happened, right? We're just trying to figure it out as we go, but we're doing a great job. Okay, I'm your teacher, and I'm telling you, if I graded your score today, I'd give you an A. I get to decide. See, what's happening is we're actually self-grading, and we're giving ourselves like, I think I'm like a D, or maybe like a D minus, but I'm trying to do my best. But no one's really telling me, hey, you are doing awesome. You are making a difference. You're forgiving your kids. You're doing amazing. So I just wanted to let you guys know that you get an A from me. And what I'm trying to accomplish here is that you feel assured that you're heading in a direction that can work for you. You're heading in a direction that can work for you. So with that, with regard to healing, because right now we're really just responding to what's being thrown at us, not really knowing how to handle it. Our emotions are getting a little bit out of whack. So who wants to share what they're feeling? I need to know, because I want to know what people are experiencing. I want to know what they're feeling about all this. And we just have a few minutes to do this, but maybe if a few of you could just comment for the group, like, because we're all going to be like, yeah, that's me, totally me, yes. So who wants to comment? Like how it feels. How is it feeling to go through this?
I can. I just feel like kind of uneasy all the time. I feel like I just can't get comfortable. I don't know what's coming up next because I don't have a plan. I don't have anything. My mind is constantly going a million miles a minute. And I just feel like it's very heavy.
Now I saw in the video, you were sitting there and your daughter came in and sat on your lap. That's pretty much how life is right now. Like we're doing something, but then someone comes in, it's like, whoa, wait a minute, I'm focusing on something here. You're just a little bit distracting. Though you're my kid and I love you, but I'm used to having that time to focus, right? So uneasy. I bet if we asked for raise of hands, like if you guys wanted to do like a peace sign, like, yes, that's me too, whatever sign you want to do. Yeah, how many of us feel uneasy? Anybody else? What are some other feelings that you're going through? Like, so we've got uneasy, not really sure, I don't feel like I have a plan. Anybody else?
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Can you guys hear me? Okay. I probably feel different than most people. I thought I was gonna hate it, but it's so much more exciting than my normal life. I feel like I'm like challenged to do things with my kids and to do things differently and to make this like a positive memory for them. And I don't know, I probably feel I'm probably in the minority, but I just feel like it's kind of exciting in a way, which is weird. I don't know why I feel that way.
I don't think it's weird at all. And I think the women on this call are saying, you know what, I actually am feeling okay too. I mean, uneasy is a feeling, but it doesn't need to be a negative thing. Uneasy can be something that actually promotes growth and a new way of thinking or feeling. So because you guys are women of impact, I would predict that you're probably have this inner conversation of, but I use this as an opportunity to spread good. But everybody's so down. How do I say it where they're not like, oh, who do you think you are? You think you're so awesome and you feel so good? Well, I feel really down. And it's just hard for us to articulate that. So I'm glad that you had the courage to say, actually, it's really challenging me to think differently and to prioritize what really matters to me. So do we have maybe one more that wants to share? So we've got two kind of perspectives hanging there. We've got, no, I'm going to describe it as uneasy, don't really have a plan. And another one saying, well, I actually am looking at it as an opportunity. It doesn't mean either one's right or wrong. It's just, we're just expressing how we feel about it. That's what we're doing. Anybody else?
Okay, for me, it's a little of both. It depends on the day. Like this morning, I woke up late in bed and just had the word peace in my mind, and that's how I'm feeling today. It's just peaceful, things are gonna be okay, all will be well. But tomorrow, or even later tonight, I may, feel that uneasy feeling again, or that stress, just because we are being crowded in our own environment, right? Because we're used to having our own workspace and some quiet time, and with kids at school and that kind of thing. So for me, it's just kind of back and forth, and it depends on the day. So I'm trying to just hold on to that peaceful feeling, and that it's going to all be okay, even though that uneasy feeling will still creep up.
Yes, and that's a good articulation of the situation. I think all of us could say, yeah, maybe I'm more on the one side, but I'm still kind of going back and forth. So it's important to acknowledge that reality, and that's okay. Our emotional health is like our personal hygiene. Okay, you're gonna go, if you go a week without showering or like cleaning yourself up, you're not gonna feel good. If you don't clean yourself up and recover. And that's why healing is so important during this time, because there's so many things that are coming at us so fast. It's like we're on this hike and we're not taking breaks. Self-care is really important for recovering, refueling, remodeling, reinforcing, rekindling. We need to really take care of that recovery aspect. And I can tell you guys how to do that. I thought I saw someone's hand go up.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yes, self-care is definitely important. I was going to say, when we have to leave, obviously we're supposed to kind of stick to the house, but there is something kind of unifying about, going to the grocery store. And although we're scared of everybody, I mean, now everyone's an alien, right? Stay away. Everyone's probably sick, whatever. But you can look in people's eyes and we all share a common bond right now. Everyone has the same thing in their head, and there is strength in numbers. There's strength in knowing that everyone in the world is going through the same thing right now. So a lot of our struggles in life, you're alone and no one understands, and it's the aloneness of it is the worst part. But right now, I think we can easily say everyone has a lot of the same concerns. Some people, it's hitting certain parts of their lives worse than other parts. But there is that one thing that is unifying, and that we can all kind of connect with everyone else that we see. And so there is something about that can kind of buoy you up in times that are so uncertain.
I love that. So let's just recap, and then I'm going to turn the time over to the next speaker. So to recap, these are some different feelings we've had. Unsure. I'm actually looking at this as an opportunity. Not sure I have a plan. And then, we're actually being unified by this pandemic. It actually is a common thing that we're sharing. These are all things that we're kind of feeling, and we're not sure what to do with all that. But what I've taught you today, the way to really manage aloneness, as Steph said, aloneness because we get in our homes and we kind of feel like we're out of the network. We're not seeing people the way we used to. We feel aloneness. That's the word we're going to call it today, which I love that. To manage that, what you've done is you've expressed yourself. It's so important to do some writing, some type of writing exercise as much as you can. Now, it doesn't need, even once a day. What I do is I do 10 minutes every day. I just set my timer, 10 minutes, and I write down what is bothering me. And I just write it out on the paper, and then I throw it away. But what I'm basically doing is I'm showering off. I'm showering off aloneness. If that's where my mind is at, I'm saying, okay, it's time to shower. Where's my pen? And I'm going to write about, you know what's bothering me? I feel alone. And the truth is, we're not alone, because as Steph just pointed out, we actually are sharing this common bond that can unify us. But if we're stuck on being alone, we're not going to see it. We're going to think that we're trapped or stuck, or we don't have a plan. And it's okay if we feel that way, but let's shower off. Let's clean it up. And let's get back to who we are, which for you, it's women of impact. It's women that are out to make a difference. It's women that forgive. It's women that have strength to move forward. And that is such a strong message that needs to happen right now. We need your strength. So
I love that message.
I'll wrap up.
Thanks for sharing, everyone. Those are great comments. We're running a little shorter on time, so we're just going to go ahead and hop on over for Moms on the Clock, and they can share kids and family activities. But take care of your emotional health. Hey, guys. Hey, hop on in, guys. Steph, and let's see who else we got on. Who's going?
Here, I'll start us off. I'm Steph with Moms on the Clock, and you'll see Ashley being it, and my iPhone is Beth. I think that's how her name is showing up. There she is.
We've got about 5 minutes, so just a heads up.
Okay, we're going to go super quick. We're going to start with Ashley. She's going to give a really fun family activity. Ash, take it away. Is she on?
Okay, can you hear me?
Yep.
I always feel like nobody can hear me. Okay, so sorry. When I'm in a hurry, then I get all frazzled. Okay, so I wanted to talk a little bit about how to find some one-on-one time with your kids. And for me, it's always in the garden. I'm sitting out here by my garden, and I wanted to tell you, so something that I like to do is get like the Burpee magazine that has all the plants in it, and I sit with my kids one-on-one when the others are watching TV or something else, and they can pick one plant, and then that's the plant that they're responsible for all year. And so when we're planting it, that's one-on-one time with them. When they're learning to care for it, that's one-on-one time. That's they're watering it, weeding it, doing all that kind of stuff. And then I like to have them, because this is what I like to do, is study one plant a year, so I get better at the one plant. And that's how I've kind of gained my gardening skills, is one plant at a time. And so then I'll have them study the plant like on the internet and find anything that they can on it, and then they'll do a plant report, and they can do like the symbolism of the plant, they can do how to plant it, they can do all that, and then they can do plant art where they paint pictures of their plant, and there's just that one plant that they're responsible for. And then they can the other things they can do with that one plant is there's so many different art things you can paint with the vegetable. Once the vegetable grows, they can write a story with the vegetable as their main character. They can make a little fairy village with using their plants. And then my kids' favorite thing to do is selling their plant. And so they will, and this is something that they can still do even with this pandemic, because they can use gloves and masks, and they can let the neighbors know what plant is available that they're responsible for. They text me, and then my kids deliver that plant and they get paid, and that they love that. But there's so many different garden activities. I'm trying to hurry, but there's like, you can make garden markers, you can make garden rocks, you can do herb planters that you can have inside, you can get books about plants. I just like to maybe once a week do some sort of garden activity. So that's my gist.
I
Did
love
I do that fast enough?
I'm gonna do that. Okay.
Okay, Brooke, did you have anything you wanted to add? Hit the unmute button on the bottom left, Brooke.
We've got just over 2 minutes, so I just wanted to make sure. I don't
That's
want
okay.
anyone to get cut off.
I'll just
I don't
jump
see her
in.
on, so let's see.
Okay,
there.
I'll just jump in. Can you still hear me?
Yeah.
Ashley has put out a
Yeah.
really cool gardening guide too. If you're wondering about like how to plant vegetables, what they need, how to care for them. So maybe she could throw a link up in a minute too. It's really cool. Beth and I were going to talk about things that you can just do with your kids. So really quick, mine is painting rocks. I know it's simple. People have been doing it for ages, but I went on a hike yesterday. It was called an affirmation hike in St. George, and there were painted rocks the entire way up to the top. And we were happy, and it was cool. And we thought, let's paint rocks and put them around our town, or go put them in someone's yard and text them and say, go find all the cool rocks. And you should add to them. Rocks of affirmation, make a cool scavenger hunt, put them in a park, let other people know you've put them there, and ask them to join to it. We have a little bucket list we've put out, and that's one of the activities on there. And I've done it with my kids. It's really exciting. Pinch out for a bigger view. What did my phone just do? Oh, someone just
There we go.
stuck that on there.
Oh, sweet.
Someone's putting that on there. Anyway, Beth has an idea too.
So my husband and I were trying to figure out a way to help the economy while we're doing this. And we came up with culture nights. So what we're going to do, what we've been doing is getting takeout from a local restaurant, say, so we have an Indian restaurant, we have Mexican restaurant, we have a Thai restaurant, and incorporating homeschool in that as well. So we'll eat the dish. And I love traveling and I love learning about other cultures. So this is like, I just love this. And we teach the kids about different cultures. And we can also throw in Disney movie night, because if you think about it, every single Disney movie, I mean, there's so many Disney movies that go along with different cultures. So we throw that into, but we're supporting the economy. We're having a culture like homeschool night with our kids. We're having that togetherness. We're eating together as a family at home. It has been one of the biggest joys in our life during this whole situation. So that's one of my biggest kid activities with your family.
Awesome. I love the Disney light.
I know!
You guys, we'll put up all their links. Okay, go check them out. I love the gardening. We will have to do more of this because obviously we want to talk about it. So thank you all for getting on. If you took away one thing from today, go write it down and do that. It doesn't have to be that you got tons of takeaways, but even if you got one thing, it's worth it. So love